Hello, this is Blue Star, defender of Equestria. This is my next Focus On video. Princess Luna versus the Tantabus. Oh dear. There's enough material in this one episode to make 3 or 4 Focus On videos, which I'll probably get around to eventually. But for the purpose of this video, I want to focus on specifically on the conflict of Luna versus the Tantabus. And I found this question to be a lot more complicated than I thought it was going to be. So I'm going to break this down to a number of questions. And these questions are: what is the Tantabus? Or more precisely, what does it represent? What is Luna afraid of? What does Luna have to do in order to defeat the Tantabus? And also, what is it that Princess Luna is agreeing to do when she tells the main 6, I do? So, on to the first question. Exactly what is the Tantabus and what does it represent? I think the short answer is it represents Nightmare Moon. But more precisely, it represents all the negative energy, the fear, the pain, the guilt, and in a way the bad memories itself of Nightmare Moon, of what happened to Luna with Nightmare Moon, and all those horrible things, and it's almost in a way represents the dark side itself. Oh dear. So, the next question is, what is Luna afraid of? Because it was actually pretty interesting, the opening sequence of this episode, where we basically are presented the ultimate nightmare of Princess Luna, of what is like the worst thing that could possibly happen to Luna? Is in a way what's being presented here? And the answer is that she becomes Nightmare Moon again! And worse than that, the main 6 cannot defeat her. Because Nightmare Moon takes the main 6's best shot and just brushes it aside. It's like, is that all you've got? No! And Luna says that, my dream ended happily? That can't happen! So I have a feeling that this was the first time the main 6 were able to defeat Dream Nightmare Moon, and oh dear. I mean, this is pretty much what Luna is afraid of. She's afraid of becoming this monster that hurt so many ponies, including her own sister. And the greater fear is she'll be forever trapped in that nightmare. She'll always be trapped inside Nightmare Moon, and she can't do anything to stop Nightmare Moon. And neither can any pony else. And in some ways, that is a common fear. It's a fear of, it will never be okay. And I can understand that fear very well. Sometimes when I'm at work, when I'm trying to figure out a computer programming problem, I sometimes feel I will never find the bug. I will never be able to fix it. This problem will never go away. Oh, that's horrible. But the good news is for Princess Luna is that that's not necessarily the case. Nightmare Moon can be defeated. So what does Luna have to do to defeat the Tantabus, to, in a way, put it behind her? I mean, the answer is that she has to forgive herself, because she created the Tantabus to punish herself with the worst nightmare she could possibly have. If the Tantabus is simply the aftermath of Nightmare Moon, and the pain, the guilt, the fear, she has to trust the other ponies. She has to listen to them and accept their forgiveness. Because I'm sure in Luna's mind, in her head, she knows that they've already forgiven her. But it's her heart that's the problem. That her heart hasn't forgiven herself for this. She's still the monster that was Nightmare Moon. She doesn't deserve to be forgiven, which is why she's created this thing to punish herself, to in a way trap her in those nightmares. And this is why she has to trust the other ponies, and also to hear from them, we've already forgiven you for this. It's time for you to forgive yourself, because you deserve to be forgiven. We know that Nightmare Moon is in the past. You are no longer Nightmare Moon. You are Princess Luna. You deserve to be forgiven. Are you willing to trust us that we're right? Is what Twilight is asking her. she has to just let herself be forgiven, because all the ponies have already forgiven her. The only pony that doesn't forgive her, that isn't willing to let this go, is Princess Luna. And that's certainly something interesting in itself about this whole thing, is that this isn't about Luna and the ponies or Luna and Celestia. This is between Luna and Luna. Only she can resolve this, but she needs their help in order to do so. She needs them to tell her, you deserve to be forgiven. Now it's time for you to forgive yourself. If Twilight is saying to her, we've already forgiven you, are you willing to forgive yourself? When Princess Luna says, I do, she's saying, I'm willing to forgive myself now. I'm willing to let this go. And also, in a way, she's allowing for her past to no longer be today. That's ultimately how she resolves and defeats the Tantabus, by simply looking that pain, that fear, and the guilt and everything in the face, in a way, and just simply saying, I'm ready to let it go. I'm ready to accept you as a part of me and just move on and just be happy again. Oh, I'm so happy for you, Princess Luna. And I really liked this conflict because it's really complicated, but it's also portrayed very realistically, because Luna says a lot of things that a lot of people say. It's like, I'm still the same person that I was. I don't deserve to be forgiven. But sometimes we need someone else to tell us, no, that's not true. You're not this person anymore, because look at what you're doing. In the real world, the answer to that question is often, look, you're here trying to fix this problem that, in a way, it itself proves you're not the same person that was causing this problem to begin with. That is exactly what Princess Luna is doing here. Princess Luna is doing everything in her power to keep this fear from hurting others, which is something that Nightmare Moon would not have done. Nightmare Moon would have wanted the ponies to suffer in nightmares. Here, she's doing everything she can to prevent it. So Luna definitely proves that she deserves to be forgiven and to just simply put Nightmare Moon into the past and accept everything that happened for what it is and just be happy again. So sleep well, Princess Luna. I'm glad that everything's all right, and now you can sleep peacefully in dream. So that is the end of my video on Princess Luna versus the Tantabus. This is Blue Star. Stay strong and pony on. Blue Star out.